I think, despite the size of the Labour majority at the moment, we are entering the era of coalition by default in British politics, whether or not the arithmetic demands it. While Labour's 2024 majority is commanding, it's also combustible, formed not from durable tribal loyalty, but from the volatile protest votes against a decaying Conservative establishment. The electorate has stopped voting for things and started voting against things. It's voting, in this case, against decline. And in such a climate, it is the Liberal Democrats, historically perennial outsiders, occasionally reluctant insiders, who may soon hold the moral, if not the mathematical balance of power. So I say this from the outset: all government is coalition, whether formal or informal. To pretend otherwise is to misunderstand how modern parliamentary systems work. The idea of a single-party state imposing policy without negotiation or compromise is not democracy. That's delusion. And even within its own party, there is compromise, there is negotiation. So Nick Clegg, now a meta-political figure in every sense, has re-entered the national conversation. In a speech marking the 15th anniversary of the 2010 coalition, Clegg urged the Lib Dems to be unafraid of using power again, even at the cost of popularity. Politics without power is like a car without fuel, he said. Indeed. But some would add, politics with power, poorly handled, is like a car without brakes. And Clegg's real message is this: use your political capital, don't hoard it. He's daring the Lib Dems to become relevant, even if it means being reviled. But the ghosts of 2015 still howl: tuition fees, NHS reforms, bedroom tax. When you are in opposition, when you have no thought that you can ever hold the reins of real power, you can promise all manner of things, but you should never have to deliver. And then suddenly the Lib Dems have to deliver. The scars of compromise remain visible, especially to those who believed the Lib Dems were meant to temper power, not to enable it. And yet the point stands: coalitions are not acts of betrayal, they're acts of maturity. So Keir Starmer leads a government that has more seats than certainty. With just 57.4% of voters opting for Labour or Conservative combined, we're living through an historical realignment. Labour's new map spans diverse metropolitan cores and disgruntled post-industrial margins. Is not a natural coalition. It's a fragile ceasefire against decline. And on the government benches sit Labour MPs with Reform snapping at their heels, Greens baying from the left, and Lib Dems eyeing them from behind, and each MP knows their majority is slimmer than the Prime Minister's majority suggests. A 4% swing, and Starmer's fortress becomes a sandcastle. He knows it, so do the Lib Dems. So Ed Davey's revival strategy relied on ruthless geography, relentless message discipline, and just a hint of pantomime: jet skis, bungee jumps, bucket hats. Yet beneath the comic stunts was a cold, strategic brilliance. The Lib Dems targeted where they could win, and they won. And their message: one issue, health and social care. And perhaps that's no bad thing. In a climate of disintegrating public services and exhausted electorates, focus is power. But focus is not enough. Influence must follow. With 72 MPs, the Lib Dems are not mere lobbyists, they're now institutional actors. And in time, whether in a hung parliament or a confidence and supply arrangement, they must choose between purity and policy. Here, Clegg is absolutely right. If the Lib Dems are to be more than a protest party for a professional class, they must be willing to shape, not just criticise government. Some call compromise betrayal. I would call it politics. The greatest achievements in British government have emerged from unlikely alliances: the post-war consensus, the Good Friday Agreement, the coalition austerity reforms. Yes, even them were products of shared responsibility, not solitary will. And the Lib Dems must be clear-eyed. They cannot demand purity and power in equal measure. But they can demand principled pragmatism to ensure any future government protects civil liberties, invests in care, defends the environment, and rebuilds trust. They must be coalition-minded, not just in Westminster, but in tone, posture, and policy throughout the country. Labour should be seen not as an enemy to be punished, but as a potential partner to be corrected. As too, if necessary, the Conservatives. My belief is that the Lib Dems will be the leading party in the next coalition. which may well have to be with the Conservatives or with a combination of Greens and others and independents. Britain is not one nation, it's a nation of tension. North and south, young and old, urban and rural, secure and precarious. No one party speaks for all, but together, with sincerity and humility, parties can govern for all. So we have to prepare for the inevitable. A future of interdependence, of politics of grown-ups, a coalition not just of parties but of purpose. And if the Lib Dems are brave, they will help to lead it again. And next time perhaps they'll write a better ending. Next time perhaps they'll be happier with the outcome.